AJ, see, like obviously going on from our last conversation,
Yeah.
obviously that being mindful of the company you keep and who
Hmm.
you choose to align with and where to take care. You know what it is, bro? Like obviously there can be there's a situation where you like it might be a specific person who well obviously it's gonna be a specific person who is that negative energy or negative influence, bro, yeah. But you know what?
Hmm.
Obviously, like so it's like everyone that there might be times where we've been a negative influence in a situation or we've kind of how we've conducted ourselves might have made a situation negative. But it's all about holding yourself accountable. Do you understand what I mean? Do
Definitely.
you get what I'm saying? Like,
Definitely. 100%.
so yeah, 'cause that's important because obviously it's when you can hold yourself accountable for something and you can look back and think, you know what, the way I conducted myself in that situation or my input in that situation probably made it worse, or do you know what I mean? Or I brought someone into a situation that probably wasn't for them or they wasn't ready for. If you can, if you're aware of that and you can hold yourself accountable, then that's growth in it. But then also, if someone sees that you can hold yourself accountable, then they can, you know, it can mend your relationship. Or do you understand what I mean? In some occasions, in some situations, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, no, no, 100%. But like you said, that is growth, innit? It takes a certain amount of maturity, and a certain level to accept accountability. Because I've met people that are just you find it difficult to say sorry when they're wrong or admit when they're wrong. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
Exactly.
people actually struggle with that. It's almost like saying you're wrong, you're right, and I'm wrong. You understand what I'm saying to you?
100%, bro. 100%,
You
bro.
you
Yeah.
know?
Well, that's where kind of like the ego comes into play as well, innit, bro? Because some people
Yeah.
they're too
Mm,
egotistical. Do you understand what I mean?
yeah.
Where
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. What is it? Is it ego? Because I've met people that are just thinking, what is it? What's up with this person? Is it ego? Is it ignorance or arrogance? You understand what I'm saying to you?
you know what? Sometimes
Yeah.
it can be your ego because
Mm,
sometimes it's like, and sometimes generally someone might not be a bad person, but at that moment in time, it's like the
mm,
ego takes control. But then within that hour, once the situation settled down, they can think back and think, you know what, actually, you know what, I was wrong or whatever. But some of it is generally, if you're in it, like, we've all been in ignorant mind spaces where, or haven't had an
mm,
ignorant mindset where it's just that in
mm.
that moment in time, that could be, have been your mindset, or because and you know, we all observe our surroundings. So if you're constantly in a negative environment, do you understand what I mean, and around negative people, it will change your mindset. So it could be things that
Definitely.
happened years ago, but then as you get older and you're in a more positive mindset, then
Yeah.
you're aware of it. You understand
Yeah.
what I mean?
Because like you said, there's a lot of things from my past, that I have to hold accountability for. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Hmm.
Even if you don't realize at the time, when you do realize it, you got to say, listen, that was me. I shouldn't have done this, or I should have handled that situation better.
Hmm.
But it also makes the person feel valued. Does
Yeah,
that make sense?
go on.
Holding accountability makes that shows you value that person. Because if someone's not holding accountability to something in a situation with you, you think, this guy, what, you don't value me. You don't value to even admit the truth or admit that you was wrong.
Well,
You
you know
understand
what,
what I'm
you're
saying to
right, and you know what was it? Like you said, they don't value them, or they got more self in that they think how they feels more important than how the other person feels. Do you
you?
understand what I mean?
Exactly.
So they don't really care about that person as much. So you're right. Yeah, it's true. They don't value them, bro. 100%.
Unless they feel like they got something to lose also, sometimes accountability, they think, oh, well, if I hold accountability to this and you realize this is my mistake and they realize it's my mistake, it might affect other things that they might lose out on. You never know with people. You understand what I'm saying?
But but that's again, that means that person got a lot of growing to do because
Mm,
even if you feel like one thing about if you like if you have to know right from wrong, and even if you feel like it might be detrimental in a situation, you still got to own it. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, if it makes you look bad or whatever, once you own it, people accept. At least he owns it. At least moving forward, I know he will own his mistakes or whatever. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah,
And
but
also in business as well, accountability means a lot. If you mess up something, you say, okay, this is my fault. Did I take this or the cost, or I'll cover that? Is accountability moving forward, so you've kind of mended the wrong.
yeah,
Do
but
you know what I'm saying?
can I be? And even I'll be honest with you, but even if you mend that wrong and that person still chooses not to work with you, you have to accept it. Do you understand what I mean? You have
100%,
to, like,
100%.
every action there's a reaction, so you have to kind of accept it and move on. You could then if you're own up to something, but you still want that person to involve you in whatever it was, then you're not really owning it. Because you're just thinking,
Yeah,
if I own up to it, then they're still gonna
it's a
carry it
motive.
along. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
still a motive where you got to say, you know
Mm,
what, I'm going to own it. And if it's detrimental, if it's cost me my position or whatever, then that's what it is. Do you understand what I mean?
mm.
So
So
yeah.
when you talk about accountability, what situations was you kind of what made you think of this of accountability? You understand what I'm saying to you? Was it experience or was it something that
Well, it's okay. Obviously, it's this like, for example, it's just like when we speak about being mindful around who you bring around you. Obviously, we had specific situations in mind. Do you understand what I
hmm
mean? But then
hmm
when you see this specific person not holding themselves accountable, then you know that person's they're just still on the same on their same crap. Do you understand what I mean? Do you get
No,
what I mean?
definitely.
But then also it
Yeah,
makes me. But then also I know there's times where I've probably been a negative influence or I've conducted myself in the wrong way. But I have held like obviously I feel like I've kind of I've grown. Do you understand what I mean? So there's a lot of things in my past that I see. You know what? How I conducted myself in that was bad. Even in
yeah,
certain relationships, like you think, okay,
100%.
my actions was detrimental in that relationship or that situation. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I mean in
yeah,
general. And for me, I know when I've held accountability for things, I've grown. Where when you look at certain other people and you see, hold on, you definitely ain't growing. There's no growth in your setup because you can't.
yeah,
You're not holding it. You're blaming everyone else. Do you understand what I mean?
yeah. No, definitely. Because even like us, for accountability, like you said, it's relationships, it's friendships, it's also like the ethos that we've started our page on. We're holding accountability why we had to restart when we was older. The
Exactly.
mistakes we made when we was younger.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? We're not
Yeah.
blaming the system. We're not blaming no one else. We're saying, okay, we made some wrong choices.
Come on.
Did you get what I'm saying?
100%.
So yeah, it definitely is. You have to be able to hold accountability for stuff as a grown man or woman. Do you get what I'm
Well,
saying?
that's what that's what and that's the thing, because even some people, and it's true what you're saying, Carl. Like, so when we ended up in a situation where we was in, where we had to start again at a
Mm,
later age, we could, like, so we could have sat down and blame, oh, we didn't have no opportunities and we didn't this and we didn't that. But the reality is, yeah, you, even though you can't choose your influences, the reality is just,
yeah,
you still, there is one road and there's another road, and we
yeah,
chose to go down that road. Where
yeah,
I know people will be like, oh, if I had this, if I wish I had older people around me to put me onto this, and I wish I'd,
yeah.
bro, it's all washy wish,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
You
true.
get here now,
You know,
crack on.
or,
You
or, or,
understand what I
or
mean?
blame it on the education system. The education was there to take advantage of. A lot of us chose not to, because there's man that was in school with us and that was around us that chose to. And
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying to you?
exactly.
So yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, bro. You know what I mean? Like, there's enough different situations. There's situations where even, like when you have like little arguments, yeah. And there's times where you have more than one argument in a day, and you have to, so you have to say, wow,
Yeah,
maybe it's me,
bro, that's
maybe I'm the problem.
you know, that's why I had to check myself. Sometimes I was kept on like having little, not big arguments, but like little clashes with different people, work clients. Then I'm thinking, "Right, is it me? Bro, is my attitude wrong?" Do you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
listen, obviously, I'm in construction, bro. There's times where I've nearly kicked off 2-3 times in a day, then I've checked myself, said, raw. And at the time, I swear blind, it's them, you know. Then I said, bro,
Yeah,
3 times, it can't be 3 people chose to test me. Do you know what I mean? In
yeah,
one day, it must be something that I'm doing, or the energy I'm putting out there, or something's going wrong. You
yeah.
understand what I mean?
I think sometimes it's tolerance levels, and some people generally don't react to things. Even if some people, if things bother them, they literally just still just act like it doesn't and keep on going through it and
Yeah,
deal with the person, and you won't even know that it's bothered them. Where you might say, "Hey, listen, my man, what you doing?" And you might react and pull them up. With some people, a lot of people just don't. Did you get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah. That's what it is, bruv. That's what it is. Yeah, that's
That's what I
exactly what it is.
noticed that still. You
Yeah,
know.
100. And that's why, you know what, as well, and that's what another thing why it's also self-awareness. So, there's times, I'll be honest with you, like, for example, when I'm fasting, I'm aware that I'm on edge. Do you understand what I mean?
Mm,
So I
mm.
got to understand, anytime I'm ready to